Hi, Sabrion. Here's this factoring by grouping no GCF for all four terms. I'm not quite sure what that all means. Actually, you could do it the old way. You know, take these two terms, factor out the GCF, and then what's in parentheses shows up automatically here. But we'll do it the way he wants it to do it. So first thing is, make sure you copy the problem down correctly. With all these different letters and the V's and the Y's and the V's look like U's, so if you don't copy it down correctly, it's going to be tough. So here's what I do. I start out with this first term. I put it in this box here, 42 MC. Take the second term. I put it in the second box, 36 MD. This next term, I put it in the box right here, minus 7. It looks like N squared C. And then this last term, I put it in this last box, minus 6N squared D. Minus signs always give us difficulties, all right? So we'll see if we can get through this. All right, the first thing I do, I look at these two terms in this first row. I say to myself, what's the greatest common factor of this and this? Well, I take numbers first of all, 42 and 36. The biggest number that goes into 42 and 36 is 6. I've got a M here, and I've got an M there, so I can factor out an M. I got a C here and a no C there. I got a D here and no D there, so I can't factor out anything more other than 6M. All right, I look at the second term here. All right, I got a 7 and a 6, nothing common. I've got an N squared here and an N squared there, but put this minus sign out in front. So I want to factor out an N squared, but I'm also going to factor out a minus sign. So this is going to be a minus N squared. All right, now, he talks about, to find these missing terms here, he talks about, find the area. Well, if the area of this box here is 42 MC, and you know that this is 6M, what you're saying to yourself is, hey, something times 6M, length times width is area. Something times 6M is going to give me back 42 MC. Well, that something is 7C. Another way of doing it is to take the 42 MC divided by the 6M, and you see that you get 7. The M's cancel out. That's another way of getting the 7C. But this is what he talks about, find the area, because you get a rectangle here. If this width is 6M and then that length is going to be 7C, because 7C times 6M gives you back. You may find it easier by taking the 42 and dividing it by this number here, and that'll give you that top number. So here I'm going to put in 7C. All right, now we do the same thing with the minus N squared. We say to ourselves, something here times minus N squared is going to give me a minus 7. I'm sorry, I'm working in the wrong row. I should be working with these two. All right, I should be working with, I should be working with this and this and this. So let's see what happens here. No, actually, I'm right. I'm working with this one here and this one here. I'm saying to myself, 36 MD divided by 6M. Well, the 6's cancel. Let's see, 6 into itself, 1, 6 goes into 36 6 times, so that's 6. And then the M's cancel out and leaving me a D here. All right, so what my answer would be then, he talks about the product here being the same, the cross product. That's always going to work out. But what is the answer? Well, the answer is 6M minus N squared times, in parentheses, the 7C plus the 6D plus the 6D. All right, that's completely factored form. Sometimes this gets a little crazy here. All right, let's see if we can do another one. First thing I do is to start to write these. A 12x squared u. That's this first term. This next one goes in the next box, 3x squared v. This term goes down bottom here, 28 yu. Let me stop here just for a second. Yeah, 28 yu. This is the tough part, getting these letters correct, all right? And the last one here goes in this last box, 7yv. I say to myself, I'm factoring out the greatest common factor of these two terms. Take the 12 and the 3. Well, the largest number that goes into 12 and 3 is 3. I got an x squared here, and I got an x squared there, so I'll factor out an x squared. That's all I can do. I got a u term here and a v term, nothing common. I do the same thing. I factor out the GCF for these two terms. 28 and 7. Let's see, the largest number that goes into 28 and 7 is 7. I got a y term here and a y term there. I can factor out a y. This is a u and that's a w. Nothing common. All right, so I say to myself, something, all right, something times 3x squared is going to give me back 12x squared u. Well, what times 3 gives me back 12? 4. I've already got the x squared. All right, I already have the x squared. All I need is a factor of u here. All right, 3x squared times 4u would give me back 12x squared u. All right, so now we notice 4u times 7y is 28yu. 4u times 3x squared gives me that. So now I take the same thing and I say to myself, hey, 3x into 3x squared. I could also do 7y into, perhaps it'd be easier doing this guy. Hey, 7y times something or other is going to give me back 7yw. Well, I got the 7, I got the y, I got the 7, I got the y. And all I'm missing here is, well, no, that's not going to work out, is it? That's not going to work out. 3x squared, no, I should have worked with this guy, and I should have worked, let's see, 7y, 7. If I copy this right, well, that's the problem here. I copied this guy incorrectly. It's yv, that's why. Okay. Here again, you got to be careful with this. All right, so 3x squared v divided by 3x. 3x squared v divided by 3x squared. Well, the 3's cancel out, the x squares cancel out, so I got a v here. Now, I could have done the same thing. I could have said 7yv, which is this box, divided by 7y. Guess what? The 7's would have canceled out, the y's would have canceled out, and you still get a v over here. All right, so what's the answer? 3x squared. No, this is understood to be a positive. All right, there's no sign, but it's understood to be a positive. Times in parentheses, what do you got here? You got the 4u, and here again, there's no sign here, so it's a positive v. All right, so let me just pause. Number 18. Let's see if I can copy this correctly. 40 ac squared. And the next term, 25a k squared. Third term here, 32 bc squared. And here we got a 20 bk squared. All right, so I say to myself, let me factor out the greatest common factor of this row here. All right, this row. All right, so 40 and 25. The biggest number that goes into 40 and 25 is 5. I got an a here and I got an a there, so I'll factor out an a. This is c squared. This is a k squared. Can't do anything. Do the same thing with the second row. 32 and 20. The largest number that goes into 32 and 20 is 4. I got a b here and a b there. I'll factor out a b, and that's all I can do. This has a c squared. This doesn't. This has a k squared. This guy doesn't. All right. So I'm missing something here. Something times 5a is going to give me back 40ac squared. Well, what times 5 is 40? Well, that's 8. I've got the a here. I need an a. I got an a. I need a c squared. I don't have a c squared. All right, there it is. Now, do the same thing. Do the same thing with, well, we did this one, so we do the same thing now with this guy here. So I say to myself, hey, 25 times what? I'm sorry. Something times 5 is going to give me back 25. Something times 5 is going to give me 25. Well, that's a 5. I need an A. I got an A. I need a K squared. And there it is, K squared. Now, if you look at this properly, 5K squared times 4B. 5 times 4 is 20. K squared times B is BK. So, whatever factor you use here, times this guy and times this guy will give us this column. Whatever you have here, times both of these will give us everything that's in that column. So what's the answer? Well, it's 5A plus 4B in parentheses. And up top here, you've got 8C squared. Now, if there's no signs, it's understood to be positive. Plus 5K squared. All right, these require some work. All right, the easy part is writing down the 4 terms. All right, and then you factor out the GCF of that row, you factor out the GCF of that row, and then the problem becomes is finding the other 2 terms. All right, that's the issue. When you work with this first term here, you're working with either that block or that block. When you work with the second term, to find the second number, you're working with this column. You're either working here, dividing it by this, or taking that and dividing it by that here. All right, hope that works. I know I've drawn a lot of stuff here, but you got to try some and then send me what you've got, and I can make the corrections.